Hi, kindergarten. It's Mrs. Coomans again. We are going to do a story together, and this story is called Stone Soup. So I'm not sure if you have heard of this story before, but if not, Mrs. Coomans is going to read this story to you and show you my little pictures that go with the story. Okay? So once upon a time, there was a soldier and who was on his way home from fighting war. He trudged slowly through a small village where he saw an old woman. She was sweeping her porch. The soldier said, "Pardon me, ma'am, but I haven't eaten in 2 days. Could you spare a meal?" "We barely have enough to eat as it is," said the old woman. "Meanly, ask anyone in this village and we're all hungry." "Well," the soldier said, "I'll just have to make soup from a stone." Can you imagine making soup from a stone? And with that, he pulled an ordinary-looking stone out of his pocket. So here is my stone. Here's my stone. The old woman stared at him. "Soup from a stone?" she said. "How can anyone make a soup from a stone?" The soldier replied, "I can indeed make a soup from this stone. That is, if I had a pot with some water." So the woman hurried off to fetch a pot. So here's her pot and some water. And soon the pot of water was boiling over a roaring fire. The old woman watched as the soldier dropped the stone, here's my stone, into the pot. So now the stone is in the pot. Just then a small boy wandered by. "What are you doing?" he asked. The old woman whispered in his ear. The boy exclaimed, "Soup from a stone? How can anyone make soup from a stone?" The soldier stirred the soup. "It's almost ready," he said, "but it would be tastier if some carrots were added." The little boy said, "If my mother has some carrots at home, I will go and find out." The little boy was back in no time. What do you think he brought? Do you think he brought carrots? Let's find out. He was back in no time with the carrots, and the soldier put them in the pot. All right, so now we have carrots and a stone in the pot. A farmer rode by and stopped to see what's happening. The little boy whispered in his ear. The farmer said, "Soup from a stone? How can anyone make a soup from a stone?" The soldier stirred the pot. "It certainly would taste better if some potatoes were added to this soup," he said. The farmer said, "I have some potatoes in my sack. You may have some." So now the soldier is going to put some potatoes in there. I don't see a potato picture. Here's my potato picture. All right, so my potatoes in the soup now. So the soldier put the potatoes in the pot, and a young woman walked by. "What smells so good?" she asked. The farmer whispered in her ear. She said, "Soup from a stone? How can anyone make soup from a stone?" The soldier stirred his soup. "I think this soup would taste wonderful if some onions were added." "Ooh," the young woman said, "I've got some at home," and she hurried off to go get them. When she came back, the soldier put the onion in the pot. So here comes the onion. Now there's onion in the pot. More and more people from this town followed the delicious smell of the soup. Someone whispered in the ear of each newcomer, and all the newcomers exclaimed, "Soup from a stone? How can anyone make a soup from a stone?" A minister gave the soldier some beans to put in the soup. Oh, I don't have my beans. Some beans from the soup. Some school children gave the soldier some tomatoes to put in the soup. The soldier stirred and stirred, and finally he said, "It's ready." Someone ran to get him a bowl and a spoon. The villagers stood anxiously while the soldier tasted the soup. Would anyone like to try this soup? The villagers scrambled to get some bowls and some soup, and they ate and they ate and they ate. At last, everyone was full. The soldier stood up with a big smile on his face. He said, "I've got to get moving along now. Thank you for letting me share my stone soup with you." As he walked down the road leading out of the village, the townspeople who were too full to move exclaimed, "Soup from a stone? How can anyone make soup from a stone?" So did he make soup from a stone? Yes, he did. He added lots of things to his soup. They added some onion to his soup. They added carrots, and they added some beans, and probably some salt and some pepper, and a big potato. Lots of things to his soup. All right, kindergarten, I know you have this paper in front of you. And this paper is a sequence paper, which means we have to look at the pictures and see which one came first. Which one do you think came first? I think this picture came first because it looks like this is the soldier and he's going into the village. And he probably went to the village so that he could grab some food, right? Because he was very hungry. He said he hadn't eaten in 2 days. So we would cut this picture out and we would put it in the number 1 box because that came first in the story. Now, do you think this picture came first or second, or this picture came second? This is a picture of him making the soup, and this is a picture of them eating the soup. What do you think came next? If you said this one, you are right. So now he is making his soup. So he's got some onions, some carrots, and some corn. So he made his soup. So that would go in the number 2 box. And the last picture right here are all the villagers that are eating the soup. So that would be in the last box because they all ate their soup. All right, so you would cut that out and put that in number 3. So that's your job. All right, my kindergarten friends, you have a great rest of your day, okay? Bye, kindergarten.